Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. This morning, Jules and I are heading off from Denmark, rather wet Denmark as you can maybe see out the window, and we are heading to Sweden. Now, we last went to Sweden in 2019 with our caravan.
Yeah, another travelling day for us, so yeah, not as long a drive today as it was on the initial outlook, but we've got a couple of hours.
We've got 4 hours,
3 to 4
Jules.
hours.
We've got 4 hours, so still a fair distance. Yeah, so we're heading off from Denmark, heading north to Sweden. We're going via the Åhus Bridge, which is what we did last time. I'll put links down here, but basically you can book the... I'll do that again. I'm not having quacking in the background.
Do you want to put your phone on silent?
No, that was a repeat message in my life.
Ah, right.
Right. Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. This morning, Jules and I, we are leaving Denmark and heading to Sweden.
Another travelling day.
And we last went to Sweden in 2019 with our caravan, so we know roughly what to expect, and we really enjoyed Sweden, didn't we, last time?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got 11 nights in Sweden. It's a bit wet in Denmark, as you can probably see. It's been a bit wet most of the trip, to be fair. It's a bit of a shame, really. We've dashed out when it's been dry, seen what we wanted to see, and then it's rained again. But you can't control the weather.
No, we did have some wonderful weather to go and have a look at the beach here at Denmark.
Oh, yeah,
so that
we did. Hopefully you've seen that video. So to get to Sweden, we're going over the Åhus Bridge, which is the bridge we went over last time. I'll put a link in the description as always so you can understand what it is I'm talking about. This is literally a road bridge across the water linking the two countries. I think price-wise, it depends on the size of your unit, but it is about £190 return for us. I've booked online. You can book up to 30 days in advance. Takes your registration number, so when you get to the bridge, you just power on and that's it. And same on the return leg. You can also go by ferry, and you can also book that on the same website as well as like a split journey if you want to do one way and one the other. So that's what we're doing.
So hopefully we'll get some footage of that, and it'll be lovely over the bridge if the weather's not too windy and raining. So fingers crossed.
We don't want a windy crossing on that bridge. But yeah, and we're heading. It's about a 4-hour drive. We're going to Ohus, or spelt A-H-U-S, but I believe it's pronounced with an O. Ohus, which is in the Kristianstad district. It is the southeast of Sweden, and it's on the coast, so that's where we're going first of all, and we're stopping at First Camp Åhus. First Camp are a group of campsites in Sweden and Denmark, and it's a bit like a 5-star version of the Caravan and Motorhome Club, but with more facilities. They're amazing sites, aren't they? And we stayed at a lot of them on our last trip,
and they were really nice, so that's why we've done it again.
Yeah,
really family friendly. You know, sort of trampolines, like inflatable ball thing on quite a lot of the sites. I don't know if it's all of the sites.
Yeah, some of them have restaurants, some of them have swimming pools, I think. A lot of them are on the coast, restaurants and things. So each site's different.
Top-notch facilities.
Yeah, really good facilities. So and they're not overly expensive. So we'll find out more when we get to this site, and obviously I'll tell you how much it's cost and all the rest of it there. Right, let's get our electric hookup wound in, dump our waste, and...
I've got to put my cagoule on.
No, we should have been buying cagoules. You know, you're getting old, and well, I think we were taking the mick with the word cagoule, weren't we? But you know, you're getting old, and like you use the word cagoule because you're like, my grandma went on about cagoules, and you'd be like, it's not a cagoule.
Right, come on.
Yeah, anyway, less about that. Right, come on.
We digress yet again.
4 hours.
See you on the trip.
See you in Sweden. we've made it onto our pitch in Sweden. We've arrived at first camp, Åhus. That was the windiest motorhome drive I have ever had. And I don't mean I had wind, I mean the wind. Oh my God, I've never known anything like it. Thankfully, the crosswind assist kicked in several times and kept us on the straight and narrow. The first bridge we got to, still in Denmark, they'd actually closed it to caravans under 2.5 tonnes. You'd be thinking 2.5 tonnes, they all are under that. Not here, they're not. So if you're under 2.5 tonnes, your caravan, you actually just couldn't go over the bridge. They were all having to pull off. We got over that first bridge and then we got to the second bridge. This is the bridge over the Great Belt, still in Denmark. This is not the Åhus Bridge. So the first toll bridge you get to, you've got to pay. For this motorhome, we paid about £71. Continued on, lovely drive in the rain and the wind. Åhus Bridge, no problem. I'd booked that online, drove straight through. Barrier popped up on the ANPR cameras on the registration. And off we went. Then we had a nice drive through Sweden and yeah, arrived at first camp. Accessible roads, always, you know when you get into first camp, you'll see the flags, you turn in there. We pulled in the arrivals bay and then Jules and I nipped into reception to check in. The pitch I pre-booked was C710. Now the first camp, which is actually the main site, is just over there. They actually have over 600 pitches. This is a big site. But we pulled in, checked in, and then we actually came back out of the entrance, and then we came along the back road here, and then into a second barrier up there with our security card and then drove down onto pitch C710. These are hard-standing pitches with electric, about £25 a night I've paid. This is like a little motorhomey area. If you're just here for a couple of nights, maximum 8 metres long. Obviously, if you want to be on the main site up there, huge site, service blocks, various bits and pieces. You can have bike rental and stuff like that. And there is Wi-Fi on the main site. We're not getting it here. So if free Wi-Fi is important to you, then here at Åhus, you want to be on the main site. Right, we have actually got some services and a motorhome service point here. I'm going to show you those in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my bag and we're now going to go and explore because the beach is literally there. Then we're going to walk into Åhus itself along the seafront. We're going to see the beach, the sea, and then we'll head into the town centre. It's about 1.8 miles to get into the centre, and that's where we're going to go. Bus stops, I don't know. I have seen buses going past, but I don't know where the bus stop is. But I have seen buses. Or you can cycle. It's a very cycle-friendly area, like you've got across Europe. Right. I'll get my bag, we'll have a look at these bits on the way out, then we'll head down to the sea. Right, let's head off. Due to the horrendous weather we've had, like we're back in Yorkshire, the motorhome is absolutely filthy. The only thing with a white motorhome is you absolutely see the muck. But the Sportivo has been amazing. In that really bad weather, I felt really safe driving that. So yeah, big thumbs up for the Mercedes and the Sportivo. It is so planted. Yeah, really impressed with the drive. I think we're getting about 25 to 30 miles to the gallon. We weigh just under 3.5 tonnes. Obviously the heavier you are, the more you drink, don't you? So yeah, really impressed. And this site here at First Camp, they can take motorhomes and caravans up to 13 metres long. All the first camps, or most of the first camps, will take huge units. And a lot of the caravans here are up to 11 metres in total length as well. Particularly the Carbers and the Adria motor caravans here. So big units. So yeah, you won't have a problem getting a pitch. This is our little motorhome service point. You've got your waste dump, a hose pipe, so fresh water, you don't have to mess about, you can pull that straight out. And there's a chemical disposal point as well, and then a little hose to wash off. So we've had really good facilities. There, as I say, there's some hard standing pitches that you can see. And then we're in here with like these sort of self-catering pods. We have got our own little facility block as well. I think out of season, this is a really good little area to pitch yourself here. In main season, I'd imagine it's a little bit busy, so maybe avoid it then. But there's an accessible toilet, and then these are our little facilities. I'll just show you in here. So you use your guest card, touch it on that, it'll go green, pull it. It's the heaviest door you'll ever come across. And then in each of these, you get a shower, toilet, sink, and bench. So really good, spotlessly clean, lovely and warm. Yeah, so you've got these little cubicles. And then the security barrier where we came in just there. So what Jules and I are going to do next is I'm going to literally go out of this gate and turn left, and that's going to take us to the beach. It's about a minute, if that. So I will see you on the beach. A minute's walk and we are on the beach, and this is absolutely beautiful. Today, great weather, not Yorkshire weather, great weather today, proper Swedish summer weather. And look at that. So you're looking out onto this massive belt of water. The water's actually crystal clear, and it's quite shallow for quite a long way out here. So I imagine it's pretty good for bathing and what have you. The wooden pier just that way, we're going to walk that way. The path to Åhus will actually take us along here all the way to the end, and then we'll have to get onto more of a proper road, I believe, and walk into the town centre itself. But literally minutes from the pitch, we are here on this beach. So we're now going to walk just back and on this path and head up there. There is also in the trees, you might not see it from here, there's like a children's, it's a bit like a Go Ape at home. It's called an up zone, and it's in the trees. It's like an adventure sort of adventure playground in the trees. So you can do that, obviously, if you're wanting to do that if you've got kids with you. And I've also seen red squirrels. Now, if you live somewhere in the UK or in Europe where you get red squirrels, you won't be overly excited by that. But where we live, we do not get red squirrels. So yeah, we've seen some red squirrels, which has been lovely. Right, we'll head along the path and we'll catch up in about 5 minutes when we reach the pier, which is that way. And you can just see the adventure. There you go, look. There, look, perfectly normal activities to be doing at 9:30 in the morning, swinging through the trees. No, I won't be doing that, just in case you're wondering. Right, I'll see you in a bit. A few minutes later through the woods, and here we are. And you can do this route on your bike as well. Yeah, isn't that lovely? It's like, yeah, I know it's a tree, but it looks really, really nice. I love stuff like that. And then we've got this wooden pier, which goes out quite some distance. You can walk down that. You're not allowed to cycle on it, but you can walk down it. And that heads out there. Probably a nice tranquil place just to sit, really. In terms of restaurants and things, there aren't a lot of them around the site, so you will need to bear in mind you're going to need to bring some food with you. There is, though, a short walk, a taco bar, which is just down here. So that's probably a 5 to 8 minute walk. Other than that, I haven't particularly seen much up this end. I think you're going to have to head into Åhus itself, and that's where we're going to go next. So if you carry on down this pier, at the end, we're going to be joining a road where we're going to follow that road, and we should come out at Ohus Castle. Now, I'm not sure how much of a castle there's going to be. It almost looks like a pile of stones, but we'll find out, won't we, when we get there? And I did know a few bits about it, but I'm not sure if I can remember them now. So what I will do is I will see you next at Ohus Castle. I wasn't far wrong about a pile of rocks. Here we are, Ohus Castle. So I'm going to walk that way and we'll see a little bit more of it. But it's just funny how the oldie worldy 13th century castle suddenly meets modern day industrial buildings right next door. The area we've walked through, we cut through a little wood, signposted to the centre, it says Centrum, followed it down and through sort of an industrially bit. Not the prettiest walk I've ever been on in my life, I will admit. Not that I do a lot of walking, but you know. And we've come here to the castle. Now we're going to follow the path that takes us around the castle, so we'll see a little bit more of what's left of it. And then we shall carry on walking along the waterfront, past some boats, and go up into town. So we're getting more into the actual sort of centre. This is the number 2 cycle route. So if you're coming on a bike, or if you're walking, look for number 2, and you shouldn't go too far wrong. But this is basically the remnants of the castle, and then you've got these beautiful wildflowers as well, poppies. I do actually really like wildflowers because I haven't got a clue what the difference between a flower and a weed. So if I see a poppy, I know that's a wildflower. But yeah, so this is a castle. Don't know much about it, unfortunately, but there's some nice ruins there. And then we're going to continue walking in that direction. We can see it's a little bit more built up that way, and that's the way we're going to be heading. So let's carry on in that direction. Another minute walk and we are on this marina promenade. Absolutely beautiful. This is nice. Lots of lovely boats. Not that I can afford one of those, but lots of lovely boats, restaurants, bits and pieces to see here. This seems like, although it's only early in the day, I think this will have a nice bustle to it, because Åhus is a really popular seaside resort. I believe in summer, something like, I don't know, 20,000 people arrive here or something like that. The population's normally around 10,000 people, and it explodes obviously in the season. So this is probably quite a bit busier. But there's plenty to see on this marina part, and then we're going to carry on walking down, and then we will cut right up into the centre. I don't know which road we're going to go up as yet. We'll just tootle along here and see what we find. Again, I'm not sure if boat trips are available from here or whether these are just all private boats and yachts, so I haven't got that information, I'm afraid. I did look and I couldn't see anything obvious. But I'm sure you'll be able to do some diligent research, find out and put it in the comments and share it with people if you do know of boat trips or things like that. There is Absolut Vodka somewhere around here. You can visit Absolut Vodka. So if you like vodka, you could do a vodka trip. There is also a museum in Åhus. It's called Ohus Museum, obviously. And hopefully we may arrive there by walking down here and cutting up into the town. So that is on my list of places to try and find for us. But otherwise, we'll carry on this way and see what we see as we go along. This is absolutely stunning here. So there's the boats and then the houses on the other side. I mean, they're beautiful. I wouldn't mind living over there. You can carry on down here walking, and there's a bridge over there where you can disappear off on another part. But where we're going to go, so when you get literally to here and this cream coloured building, we're going to go up this cobbled road here. Now this is going to cut us up to the museum. You can actually see the museum building down there. It's almost like a ready building. It's directly ahead of us at the end of this cobbled street. That's the museum. But I just wanted to film walking up here because this is so pretty. I think Åhus has got quite a lot of different parts to it. Obviously these more older traditional parts, and then the industrial part that we walk through. So as you come through the industrial part, don't think, oh heck, what's this all about? Because you will get to a more beautiful part like this and these old buildings here as well. Unfortunately, I can't read Swedish, so I can't tell you anything about them. But yeah, and I think quite a lot of the town, you can see the little roads that go off from here. And I think there's quite a lot of this to explore, really. What I'll do is I will continue on my little walk and we'll meet up back in that plaza area. Right, so that's a closer view of the museum. There's also, looks like a church behind it. There's obviously quite a few things to explore. And then there's various things going on. I'm not going to pretend like I know what they are, but there's various little roads as well that you can take. You can cycle all around these cobbled areas. And it looks like you can even just turn up with your twin axle Knaus caravan and park your motorhome as well here. I don't know about parking restrictions, always check where you're going. But yeah, quite a strange thing to see, a great big caravan somewhere like this. Jules and I are going to have a meander around, see what there is on offer here in Åhus. As you can see, it's really quiet. I don't know where the people are. Everywhere we've been so far in Europe, there's nobody there. It's very strange. They've probably all gone to the UK because we've had such great weather. Right, Jules and I'll tootle about, and we may see you again here, or we may see you back on the pitch, who knows. Right, I'm going to go and have a look at that church building, I think, next. And there we have it. Jules and I are back safely on the pitch after yet another walk back along that beautiful beach front with the crystal clear waters today with the blue sky. So that was first camp Ohus in the, first camp Ohus in the Åhus area. Really enjoyed this one. Nice quiet area just to get us into Sweden itself. We are heading further north next, heading up towards Kalmar. There'll be a video from that. At Kalmar we will be having a look at the Stenso area where we're stopping and going to Kalmar Castle and then into the town itself. And that again is on the water with a beach, so should be a nice place for us to explore. For this video, I'll put all the links in the description as always, so you can check them out for yourself. But other than that, we're going to have a quiet night and then tomorrow we'll be hitting the road. So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.